Mummy, happy birthday from me and Anthony and Jack and Archie. I wish I could have joined you for birthday tea at West Lodge today, but I'm thinking about you here in Massachusetts instead. It's snowing and we're preparing for a Seder on Sunday night with 30 people, none of whom are Jewish, but all of whom are expecting something unusual to happen. We are, as you would say, up to our necks in matzah meal. The kitchen, as you would say, looks like it's been hit by a bomb. When we finished frying the fish balls, I will say, as you would say, family hold back. If the chicken soup comes to a rolling boil, I will have a fit of self-flagellating hysterics, and if we ever make any coconut macaroons, or maybe I should say cacaroons, you can be sure I will tell everyone in the house to take nominal portions only until everyone else has been served. As you can see, I'm doing what you do, or at least I'm trying. If imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, then I hope you'll see that I'm paying you a compliment. On Sunday night at our Seder, we will be telling the same story to our guests that you have told us for more than 50 years. We won't forget the candlelit bedeking tour with chicken feathers and a ratty old dustpan. The Seder plate will look exactly like yours with massive quantities of charoset, and some of the Haggadahs will contain matzah crumbs and wine stains that date back to 68 Lakenheath in the 1970s. But we Americans will be leaving out the boring bits. Rabban Gamliel won't get much of a mention here in Massachusetts, but as in Lakenheath, the 4 children will get plenty of attention. Like you, I will be following the traditions of our ancestors. But, like you, I'll be doing it my way. You are my inspiration, Mummy. If you're going to do something, then you are going to really do it. You did, and you always do, everything your way. I'm thinking about Purim costumes. You didn't just hear the Megillah. You made your own Megillah. You'd be blind with exhaustion, making incredibly witty costumes, and we won the contests every year at Old Farm Avenue Shul. You thumbed your nose at all those Lovetts and Currants and Goldsteins, those Rinbergs, Weinicks and Karps. They won the frumness contests with their time switches and revolting cholent, but you won the last laugh as we sneaked into Oakwood Park on Shabbat afternoons, tennis rackets slung over our guilty shoulders. You grew tomatoes on the prohibited land along the railway tracks, and you made jam out of wild blackberries that we picked from hedges on Sunday afternoon trips to the Roman ruins at Verulamium. You suggested we drag you blindfolded through the ground floor at John Lewis on our way to the school uniform department because you were so addicted to the psychedelic fabric remnants that you'd lovingly touch each and every one. I wore some of the most original clothes imaginable, a bit wonky at times, but always designed and made by you at the Treadle sewing machine. I couldn't do that treadle thing, and you said I'd never be able to drive a car. Well, you were wrong about that. You taught me somehow, and you didn't say a thing when I smashed down the Davis's wall on my maiden voyage. Daddy was a basket case, but you weren't. Cars and walls have never been of much importance to you, and now that I come to think of it, I don't care about cars and walls either. These days, you are the elderberry queen, and I think you make tea out of garden weeds. You've never, in my memory, ever made a successful cake. Obviously, there's Jamaica, but I'm sure someone else will mention that. Apart from taking us all to shul in Spanish Town every week, where we sang ancient Sephardic melodies that still haunt me more than 40 years later, and of course, who could ever forget Miss Katie's wall-less plantation house at Negril? I think that Jamaica is where you became the mummy that I admire most of all. You were the opposite of a helicopter parent. You never said no to anything I wanted to do, as long as I did it myself and accepted the consequences. I chose psychedelic orange-spotted wallpaper for my tiny bedroom, and you made it happen. You heard no word from me for 6 months when I travelled through Africa before the days of the internet. Even the telephone and mail was non-existent in Africa back then. I arrived home, weighing 80 pounds, and you calmly opened the fridge and suggested I eat your latest batch of fish balls. And best of all, Mummy, you taught me that every person I meet is worth trying to love. If I can't love them, then I'll at least have some interesting stories to tell. You taught me that it doesn't matter who a person is or where they come from, they can be part of our family. Swiss au pairs, Nigerian, Sikh and Hindu PhD students, Irish babysitters, Polish home helpers and building contractors, Hasidic doorbell ringers and Ghanaian, Turkish and Greek visiting nurses. In my life in Massachusetts with Anthony, Jack and Archie, I'm surrounded by a fabulous international cast of characters, and my Seder table will be a tiny but united nation. I have relatives from fantastic places over there in London and a beloved transgender daughter with an American girlfriend. I don't know if I would be so passionately fond of differentness if it were not for the inspiration I have gained from your dry wit and quiet wisdom, Mummy. As the song goes, it might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero?